Boom, 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 boom. It's showtime. Come on, can we get NC on here? Let's make sure we get NC on here. Once we get NC, we're good. What if I told you, though, fam, you can build $1 million business and you can do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? Well, that's exactly what we're doing. Hold on. I think we're going to get NC on here. Are we there? Are we there? Boom, we're back better than ever. Welcome back, game changers. Welcome back, go-getters. Welcome back, hustlers. Welcome back, mid-level professionals. Welcome back, entrepreneurs. Welcome back, corporate executives. Welcome back. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're building $1 million business and we're doing it in public. This is week 12 of a 52-week build. This is episode, man, what episode are we on? I think we're on episode 57. Can y'all believe that episode 57 already, right? So we've been super consistent. We're building out $1 million business and we're doing it in public, right? So there's no hiding behind the screens. There's no hiding behind a camera. There's no hiding behind text messages. Like, we're here, we're doing this thing live, right? And we're already on episode 57. So what does that mean? We've been super, super consistent. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining, or thank you for joining. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I appreciate the love. I appreciate you guys rocking with me. Listen, more than anything, I think I appreciate the messages that I get, like on screen, off screen, just the support has been absolutely amazing. And what are we doing? I think there's a lot of like-minded people that have been rocking with me, has been following the journey, who's also interested in building out their $1 million playbook. So I'm Patrick Hart, known as that healthcare guy across social channels. Army veteran, 6 years in the military, 2 tours overseas, 1 during 9/11. Ended up finding healthcare back in 2009. Spent over 15 years in healthcare. Rose through the ranks, became a healthcare technology executive. Was part of an executive team that spearheaded a successful exit in 2018. We sold a technology company for $750 million, right? And it was life changing. And then, the thing for me is, I was looking around and I noticed the people who was in the room and the people who was not in the room. And I realized something, man. It's not always talent that gets you in the room. Sometimes it's about creating visibility and opportunities for yourself that allows you to get into the room. And so since then, in 2023, I became a full-time entrepreneur, right? Just betted on myself. Appreciate you for joining, Pretty. Thank you for tapping in on TikTok. So in 2023, I became a full-time entrepreneur, right? Started to bet on myself, started to pay myself. And then in 2026, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of watching so many people, like they try to trick us with this clickbait telling you that you can grow your wealth in, or 50,000 followers and they did it in 90 days, or they generated $1.5 million on LinkedIn and they did it in 12 months or whatever. I was like, dude, really? Is that real? Is that real? Is that real? So I decided, let's prove it. Let's prove it. If it's actually real, I'm going to do all the work that's required to help me get to that $1 million bag. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it with you guys in public. So that's what I've been doing. I've been building out this $1 million business, and we've been doing it in public with the help of you and your support. So I appreciate you guys. Again, I see more and more people coming in. Thank you for joining. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. What are we doing? We're building $1 million business, and we're doing it in public, right? So every single episode is designed to give you some insight, some framework, some automation, some systems, or even connect you with some of the people that I'm working with so you too can get your $1 million bag. All right. So I'm Patrick Hart. We're about to get into this thing. Before we get into today's topic, which today's topic is the cost that nobody talks about, I would just like to share with you, the chat boxes are going to be open, all right? So do not be a stranger, because you know I'm not going to be a stranger. Every single time I see you come in or you leave a comment, I'm going to make sure to say hi and thank you for joining. And then, we got two personal goals. I see you, Kenan. Thanks for joining on LinkedIn. I see I Am Champion on TikTok, Roosevelt TikTok, Lauren on TikTok, JSexy79 TikTok, Calvin Harris 953 TikTok. I see you, family. My Instagram family's coming in. LinkedIn family's growing. YouTube family is always there. And then my Facebook family is always my solid supporters. So I appreciate you guys for tapping in. Remember, the comment box is open. We got 2 goals for this year. One is we're actually going to build out $1 million here in 2026. We're week 12 of a 52-week build, episode 57. So we kicked this thing off January the 11th, and we've been super consistent about sharing with you our growth tools and the results, right? So the first goal is to build $1 million. The second goal that I have is to establish a 50,000 member ecosystem within my newsletter. All right. And I always tell people this, whenever you're building your $1 million playbook, okay, family, whenever you're building your $1 million playbook, it's so important that you own your audience, okay? You cannot rely on algorithms. You cannot rely on social media to help deliver your message anymore. That's not the case. It doesn't really work like that. But when you own your audience, no matter what you do, as you pivot, as you drop something new, it can go directly to your audience, right? So that's the game changer when you're building your $1 million business. And if it's your first time here, that's going to be the best advice I'm going to give you in 30 seconds. So you got that right there. Again, I'm Patrick. Thank you guys for joining. Let's get into it. The cost that nobody talks about, episode 57. I say this too. I got these fancy cameras, family. So if my features, if I begin to zoom in, or my features get distorted, y'all let me know, because, I'm not seeing myself in front of the camera. I can only see my notes that I'm working through. So y'all just let me know. But I can't see the comments as they come through the chat box right here. So episode 57, the cost that nobody talks about. Oh, it's going to be good today. Y'all know it's going to be good. Listen, everybody says they want more. Real talk. Everybody, like you tap in. You can talk to anybody. You ask, man, would you like more? Absolutely, they want more. You want to upsize me? Absolutely, I want the upsize. You know what I'm saying? More money, more freedom, more growth. All of that sounds amazing. That sounds great. Like, that's what I want. You don't even ask me. I want it. But here's the part that people don't want to say out loud. More requires you to give something up. Shut up. What are we talking about? We're talking about building a $1 million business. And this episode, we're talking about the cost that nobody likes to talk about, right? More requires you to give something up. Not later. I'm talking about right now. You have to give it up if you're trying to get to your $1 million bag. And this is where the conversation, it gets quiet for a lot of people. Everybody says they want that thing. Everybody says they want that corner office. Everybody says they want that promotion. Everybody says they want the bag, but they're not ready to give up something in order to get that $1 million bag. What? Everybody wants the outcome, but very few people want the trade-off for getting that outcome. Man, come on now. Y'all know I'm going to preach and I'm going to tell you the truth. So here's the message. You don't get to build something at a high level and keep everything exactly the same. Who do y'all know has done that before? What do we do that at, right? That's not how it works, family. That's not how you get to your corner office. That's not how you get to your promotion. That's not how you get to your $1 million bag, right? You can't expect to get to another level but keep everything exactly the same. Come on now, I'm talking to myself just as camera in the notes. I can see it right here. Nobody wants to chime in on that because it's too close to the chest, to the best. And the longer you try to hold on to everything, the slower you move. It's real talk, and I'm going to keep it 100 with you every single time. So here's the promise you're going to get. In this episode, we're going to get into something that most people avoid, and you already know what it is because I've already been bringing it up. We're talking about sacrifice. Sacrifice. Make sure I got my comment sections coming in. I see more and more people coming in. Grant, thank you. Andrew, JPD Valley, I appreciate you. Monica, thanks for tapping in. Listen, if this is your first time here, or even if you're a returning viewer, invite other like-minded individuals to these lives. I do these every single day, Monday through Friday. I see you, Ricky. Thanks for joining. Monday through Friday, noon Central Standard Time. They're only 30 minutes long, right? And so this is episode 57. What does that mean? If you're first time here, even if you're a returning viewer, you may be wondering, where can I find the other 56 episodes? I created a playlist on YouTube called Building a $1 Million Business. You can tap in on that, all right? Or if you're on LinkedIn and you follow me on LinkedIn, underneath my events tab, there's the playlist called Building a $1 Million Business as well. Tap into those this week while they're free, family. And I encourage you to do that because, as we know, social media doesn't keep content forever. So eventually they may disappear. And then if I'm being a steward of growing my $1 million business, at one point, I will take those down just so I can monetize it, right? We're building a $1 million business. So right now it's free, but tomorrow you may have to pay for it. So tap into that. Episode 57. So we're not talking about the highlight version. I'm not talking about the version of yourself that you say, oh, I worked hard and it paid off. Really? Really? I'm talking about what you actually have to give up, family. If you're serious about building something real, this is where your focus gets tested. It's not just about what you do. It's about what you stop doing to help you get to your $1 million bag. All right. Maybe I'm preaching. I feel like I'm preaching today, right? I feel like I'm sharing some information that some people already know, but there's so many other people that don't know yet. They want to build something of value, whether it's themselves, they want to get that corner office, they want to get that promotion, they want to increase their check-ins and savings, they want to get to that $1 million bag, but they're not ready to give up anything, and they expect they're going to get there. Come on now, where they do that at, right? So by the end of this, we're going to understand 3 things, okay? 3 simple things I'm going to share with you. One is why people stall even when they know what to do, okay? That's 1. 2 is going to be the real trade-offs behind growth, right? Because there's something always has to trade off. And then 3 is how I'm deciding what stays and what actually goes. So we're going to get into that. So here's what I had to accept. You know, there's always something I have to accept, always a message or something. Every level, y'all listen to me closely, family. Every level has a cost, and you don't get the opportunity to skip it. You don't. You just don't. It doesn't work like that. Every level has a cost, and you don't get that opportunity to skip it. The only people that I know who's ever skipped a level are those who've hit the lottery. Maybe you know somebody hit the lottery, right? And if you do, they don't know you anymore because they hit the lottery. They're on their own piece of property somewhere. All right. So there's only the people that I know that skip a level, those who hit the lottery, those who have inherited income, right? Or those who have family ties or an inside connection. Those are the only people that get an opportunity to skip the level, right? I see you, David. I think I see you, she Posh. Thank you guys for joining, right? So there's a reality that you need to face. If you just now joining, we're building $1 million business. This is episode 57, week 12 of a 52-week build. Today's topic is the cost that nobody likes to talk about. And we're already getting into, there's going to be a sacrifice to get to your next level. So there's a reality that you need to face. People like to talk about discipline, but they don't talk enough about the sacrifice. Discipline sounds control, right? Sacrifice, it actually feels personal. Sacrifice is something you're giving up, something you letting go, something you're moving away from. That's sacrifice, right? Discipline is control. Now you're making decisions, right? When you start sacrificing things, you start making decisions that impact your time, your comfort, your relationships, and even your habits. And it gets real. That's when it gets real. Not everybody's built for this. A lot of people say they want this, but you're not built for this because you're not ready to give up that time. You're not ready to give up your comfort. You're not ready to sacrifice from relationships. You're not ready to give up some of these old habits, but yet you want the corner office. Yet you want the next level of your career. Yet you want that $1 million bag. Family, we got to sacrifice somewhere in order to get to where we're going to get to. And that's where things start to shift for a lot of people. You can't move the same way that you've been moving and expect different results, right? We've heard it before. That's the sign of insanity, trying to do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You've heard it before. I'm not sharing anything new with you. Something has to change. And usually, family, it's the thing that you've gotten used to the most. That's the thing that has to change. You know those late nights that don't serve you anywhere? You do those Netflix and chills? Those Netflix and chill moments, you're like, man, let me just catch, a little bit of Netflix. And you know what? The chill part, I kind of like the chill part, but the Netflix part, listen, sometimes you got to sacrifice those things that you want. No matter whatever streaming, channel that you like. The conversations that don't go nowhere. You ever notice somebody likes to have conversation with you and the conversation goes in nowhere, absolutely nowhere, but they just took up 30 minutes, an hour of your time? Man, that was a waste of time. Come on now. What about the opportunities that they look good, but they don't align with where you see yourself going? Total energy suck, family. Why are we giving that time? Why are we giving that energy? None of these feel like big decisions, but they start adding up. They started adding up, family. And that's what starts slowing people down. It's not the lack of knowledge. I see you, G.I. Jane 352. Thanks for joining. Listen, family, it's not the lack of knowledge. I'm talking about the lack of separation, and the separation is on your part. So I have to get honest, man. I have to get honest with myself. Let me take a sip of water real quick because I see more and more people coming in. This topic is getting heated only because I'm feeling some type of way, and then I'm sharing it with you. We're building $1 million business, folks. If you're just now joining, I'm Patrick Hart. I'm your host of Building $1 Million Business. Former Army veteran, 6 years, military, Army, 2 tours overseas. Ended up becoming a technology executive. Was part of an executive team that spearheaded and sold a $750 million technology company in 2018. That acquisition changed my life, but more than anything, the clarity that I had in my life changed more than anything. Realizing that there's people that wasn't in the room that absolutely should have been in the room. Realizing there was not a whole lot of people that looked like me that was in the room that probably should have been in the room. And that made me start my own company back in 2023, right? And then in 2026, I was like, let's build this thing out in person. Let's build it out in public. I've seen too many people get stuck in their careers and their relationships, in their businesses, and they don't know how to grow this thing, right? So let's build this thing out in public, and let's see if we can learn all the things that set us back so we can actually move forward, so we can get to our $1 million bag, we can get to that corner office, we can get to that promotion, we can get to building the life that we truly want, right? So I had to get honest with myself. I started asking different questions, like a different question. What's the different question? Not what do I need more of? Because it's easy to ask, you reflect, you start asking yourself, man, what can I use more of? I can use more of this, more of that, more of that. You know what? No, I started asking myself, what do I need to remove? Ooh, what do I need to remove? That changed everything for me, family. Real talk, it changed everything for me. Listen, growth is not just about addition. It's really about subtraction. Can I get somebody to throw their hand up and say, you know what, I agree with you, I understand you, I'm following you, this makes sense to me, I'm hearing you loud and clear. I had to do that before in my life too. I had to get rid of some old people, I had to release some old conversations, I had to get dialed in on what I actually wanted for myself, right? And I had to remove some things in order to add some things to get to that next level. A lot of people may not understand that. And then you don't get the comments don't come in because they're not like, what? I got to sacrifice? Yes. Growth is not addition. It's really about subtraction. Family, real talk. So let that sink in. Some of you, you're going to watch this back later. You may get this later. It may hit you like, oh, okay, I understand what he was talking about. I had to evaluate some things in my life, right? Where was my time going? Okay, that was the first thing. Where was my time going? What was draining my energy? Okay, what wasn't aligned with where I'm going? Those things right there. Then I had to make a decision. Like those things. What was draining my time? What was draining my energy? Where's my time actually going? And what wasn't aligned with where I'm going? Those three things right there. Right? I see you, Eric. Thanks for popping in. So then I had to make some decisions. And then, I'm not talking about the convenient, easy decisions that you make. I'm talking about the ones that are truly necessary, that are actually going to move the needle forward for you and the outcomes of what you want in your life or your business. And that's the part that people avoid the most. It's not about strategy, right? Strategy is part of the equation, but it's not the thing that's actually going to move your business forward. It's about standards, family. It's about standards. Some of you don't have any standards, and then you're wondering why you're not growing. So I started realizing something. Some things have to go, not because they're bad. No, that's not the case, but because they don't fit anymore. They don't fit me anymore. They don't fit my vision for myself anymore. They don't fit my growth measures anymore. They don't fit the conversations that I want to have anymore. The people around me is not going to help me get to where I need to be, family. The conversations that I used to have, those are not the conversations that I need to have in my life to get me to the next level. The things that I used to watch or allow consume my time, I have to step away from it because guess what? Those things are only slowing me down. They're not allowing me to step into my full potential, right? Some of the DMs that slide in and people want you to do this or that, or you got family members ask you for time, ask you for money, ask you for advice. That all sounds great, but are they getting you to their next level? That's a different kind of discipline that a lot of people, they don't like to face, they don't like to acknowledge, nor do they like to challenge for themselves, right? So let me share with you the shift that I made for myself. You know, I'm always going to share this. Honestly, folks, I'm actually talking to myself, like real talk. I'm looking at the camera. I don't see any comments come in. So I'm truly talking to myself right now, right? So you feel that. So these episodes, when I'm sharing these with you, I'm sharing with you the stuff that I have to go through in order to get to where I'm at today so I can present this to you. Thank you, Emmanuel. Appreciate you tapping in, right? So we're building $1 million business. We're doing it public. And there's something that you have to give up to find out who you really are to get to that higher level of your success right here. So let me share with you the shift that I had to make. And it was simple things, right? 3 simple things. No overthinking, no emotional decisions right here. 3 simple filters that I started using that help give me more clarity and get to the $1 million bag as well. Number 1, does this, these are questions you need to be asking yourself. Light in the struggle. I appreciate you, family, tapping in. Number 1, does this support where I'm going? Where I'm going. Does that support that? Maybe you can ask yourself these same questions as well as you're building out your business. 1, does this support where I'm going? If it doesn't move me forward, family, it's getting questioned every single time. Every single time, no doubt. Even if I enjoy doing that one thing, you got to ask yourself, does this support to where I'm going? Number 2, is this costing me focus, family? Anything that pulls my attention away, I appreciate the love. Thank you for tapping in. Anything that pulls my attention away from my main objective, it has to be eliminated or removed entirely. Focus and sacrifice are connected together. Maybe you didn't know that. You can't protect one without the other. Ask yourself, would I choose this if I was already performing at the level I wanted to be at? Come on now. Let me step away because, man, I'm getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So take off. Hey, I get more and more people coming. I got Sonia, thanks for tapping in. I got user 543576061. I see you, family. I got YHAKI54. I see you, family. Light in the struggle, Emmanuel, Peter J, Nana Ya. I see you, family. Listen, everybody's here. What are we doing? If you're first time here, we're building $1 million business. I'm Patrick Hart. I'm your host. I'm building $1 million business in public. And every single day, noon Central Standard Time, for 30 minutes, I give you some insight on some systems, some automation, some frameworks, some discussions, something that I'm doing to help me get to my $1 million bag. So you too, you can copy a similar playbook. If you haven't joined the newsletter, I give you additional insights. I give you some templates. There's frameworks. There's things inside that you can get inside the newsletter if you haven't joined it. There's floating links. There's QR codes. There's a banner. Or simply type newsletter, and I'll make sure you get your personal invite, and I'll see you on the inside in there. So today we're talking about the thing that you have to give up to get to where you're trying to be, right? So I want you to ask yourself, would I choose this particular thing if I was already performing at the next level? So some of this is self-reflection. A lot of us, we want the corner office, we want the promotion, we want the $1 million bag, we want the playbook, but we're not willing or ready to sacrifice a piece of ourselves in order to get there. And then you keep questioning, well, why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing that? Why is my business not growing? Why is my checking and savings not getting bigger? Why am I not getting that corner office, right? Because you're not ready to perform at that next level. Performing at that next level requires you to sacrifice some things, right, family? And that hits different for a lot of people. You're not there. You say, I want to be there, but you're not there. So I always encourage you to check yourself. So now we start making decisions from where we're going, not where you are. Y'all not with me. Y'all not with me. That's how you close the gap faster, family. You start asking yourself questions, or you start making decisions from where you're going, not where you are. A lot of us, we're making decisions based off of where we are versus where we see ourselves going. And then you're saying, then you're still stuck. Your career hasn't grown, your income hasn't grown, your checkings and savings. You're still talking about going to school. You haven't even went to school. I mean, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. I'm just telling you how I see it. Family, I've been there, done that, over, 15 years as an executive in technology, Army veteran, been there, done that, wrote books, featured in news articles, all kind of things, right? And so now I'm building this thing out in public. This is not to tell you, this is not about me. Honestly, this is about you. This is my form of giving back right now. If I can break down how to build out $1 million business in public, we all learn. We all grow together. Only thing you got to do is tap in. That's it. So here's what this build is showing me, okay? 52-week build, week 12 of a 52-week build. This is episode 57. And this is what I'm learning, or this is what it's absolutely showing me. Decisions create direction, okay? Execution creates results. Consistency builds momentum. Patience allows it to compound. Focus multiplies it. And sacrifice, family, what does sacrifice do for it? It's the thing that protects everything. Oh, man, what? Yes, we talked about a lot of these stuff in previous episodes. So if this is your first time hearing it, you may want to go back and check out some of these previous episodes we had. Yeah, real talk. Join the newsletter if you guys haven't. So that's what protects everything. We talked about in this build so far, week 12, 52-week build. Decisions create direction. Execution creates results. Consistency builds momentum. Patience allows things to begin to compound. Focus multiplies everything. And then sacrifice is what protects everything. We're growing $1 million business. We're growing ourselves. We're trying to get to the next level. This is where things start to get real for a lot of people. Not just what you're building. I'm talking about what you're willing to give up to build it. And for a lot of people, you're not ready to give things up. So you stay stuck. You stay without the kind of money that you want to have. You stay maybe in relationships that you choose not to be in because you're not ready to sacrifice to get the life that you want that's on the other side of that sacrifice. I mean, come on now. I'm just trying to keep it real. That's the separator. That's the thing that separates the has from the have-not. Sometimes it's the sacrifice. So here's where we're going to go next, because I'm about to end this thing right here. We're already at 12:25. I'm going to end this here. Episode 58. What are we going to talk about episode 58, man? In episode 58, we'll probably get into standards, because this week is really about the reflection on what is actually taking us. More and more, we're working on our landing page. We're working on some coaching that we're doing for Instagram. We're working on some our course that I'm going to share with you hopefully soon. Hopefully maybe next week. We're working on that as well. We're working on our VSL. We're working on that as well. Thank you for joining LinkedIn. I see you, family. Yep. So we're working on that as well. I mean, we got all kind of stuff that we're working on, but it's not ready to be revealed. And I'm super excited to share that with you as soon as it comes across. Let me see. So episode 58, we're going to get into standards, not what you expect. I'm talking about what you actually accept. That's different. That's totally different. We're not talking about what you accept. We're talking about not what you expect, but what you actually accept. And that's where everything either stays or it elevates or you drop off altogether. Fam, I'll open it up for questions really quick. Y'all know I do these every single day. You can remember the chat box is open. I'm Patrick Hart, known as that healthcare guy across social channels. We're building out $1 million business, and every single day we have a different topic that's going to help us get there. If there are topics or things that's impeding you in your build right now, whether it's personal or whether it's business related, drop it in the comments, slide in my DMs after the fact and say, hey, Pat, these are some of the things that I've been facing. These are some of the topics that would be cool if we talked about. And then, if it makes sense to, the large mass public, where it's going to help them get to their $1 million playbook, I'll make sure I talk about that as well. We're bringing that up as well. But today has been the sacrifice, right? It's the cost that, Episode 57 is about the cost that nobody talks about. I think I'm good. I feel good about today's episode. I always appreciate you guys joining. Remember, we're building out $1 million business. Join the newsletter. There's links, there's QR codes, floating banners, or simply type newsletter. I'll make sure you personally get an invite as well to the newsletter. And then the other 56, I'll upload this one as well. 57 episodes will be uploaded to YouTube and then also on my LinkedIn feed underneath the events tab. Until tomorrow, family, much love. Let's get it. Keep hustling.